Friends, welcome back to 13th week lecture. Before going into the details, what are the headlines for this week? If you look at the headlines, Supreme Court quashing 66A of Information Technology Act, Urja Sangam, Prime Minister's wish list as far as energy security is concerned, Dadasaheb Phalke Award to Shashi Kapoor, National Film Awards. Then comes the launching of IRNSS. When it comes to the world events, Saudi Arabia's airstrikes on Houthi rebels in Yemen. Then unfortunate incident of Germanwings crash which resulted in 150 people death. Singapore's founding father Lee Kuan Yew's death. In addition to these things, another important aspect is Australia winning the ICC World Cup. Saina Nehwal reached number 1 position in women's badminton, and in addition to this, Fortune magazine's list of greatest leaders, Narendra Modi's position is 5th, and Madhav Gadgil sharing the Tyler Prize. And the other important aspect is Akhil Sharma of Indian origin winning the Folio Prize for his novel Family Life. Let us look at the issues one by one. First and the foremost issue of this week, when it comes to the national issues, the first issue is Supreme Court striking down clause 66A of Information Technology Act, or section 66A of Information Technology Act. I would like to explain a bit. Information Technology Act came into existence in the year 2000. Subsequently, this Section 66A was added as an amendment. 66A. What is the significance of this 66A? As per this 66A, if someone posts objectionable comments in internet or through social media platforms, he can be arrested and sentenced to imprisonment for 3 years. And sentenced to imprisonment for 3 years. This is as per clause 66A of Information Technology Act. Recently, Supreme Court, acting on the public interest litigation filed by Shreya Singhal and others, Supreme Court quashed this 66A of Information Technology Act, because in recent times several persons were arrested when they post some comments in internet or through various social networking platforms. Now Supreme Court quashed this section 66A, stating that it is against the fundamental right of freedom of speech and expression under Article 19(1)(a) as guaranteed by the Constitution. As per constitutional article 19(1)(a), freedom of speech and expression is there. As section 66A violates this, Supreme Court quashed 66A. This is the history of this. And please remember, Supreme Court has upheld section 69A, which allows the state to ban certain websites. 66A was quashed, stating that it is against the fundamental right granted under Article 19(1) of the Constitution, which gives freedom of speech and expression, and it has not quashed section 69A, which still allows the state to block certain websites. Please remember, if someone is spreading hate speech or something against some religion, they can be punished under various sections of Indian Penal Code. So, this please don't forget. Right? Friends, look into the next one. Manmohan Singh challenges summons issued by the trial court in Supreme Court. We all very well know that last week, Special Court of CBI issued the summons to Manmohan Singh and others to appear before the trial court on April 8th. In this connection, Dr. Manmohan Singh approached Supreme Court, and he is represented by the famous advocate Kapil Sibal, and he approached Supreme Court on 3 grounds. First and the foremost is, the court issued summons without the proper application of mind. Second thing is, administrative decision was taken based on the recommendation of Odisha government. Third thing is, criminal conspiracy cannot be attributed to administrative decisions. On these 3 accounts, he approached Supreme Court, and the case is had to come up for hearing in Supreme Court. Right, friends? Let us move on to the next one. Urja Sangam was held. What is Urja Sangam? This was held in view of the completion of 50 years of ONGC Videsh Limited, Engineers India Limited, and Barauni Refinery of Indian Oil Corporation. In view of the completion of 50 years of these 3 organizations, ONGC Videsh Limited, Engineers India Limited, and Barauni Refinery of Indian Oil Corporation, recently Urja Sangam was held in the capital. And important points, please remember, as stated by the Prime Minister, first and the foremost point he stated is, in oil and gas, almost 77% we are dependent on imports. That means 23% of our oil requirements are generated in the country, and we are dependent for 77% of oil from other countries. We are dependent on other countries for our requirement up to 77%. The Prime Minister stated, within the next 7 years, that means by 2022, when India celebrates the 75th year of its independence, we should reduce this import dependence to 67%. That means we have to reduce our imports by 10%. The other important point, by 2030, we should aim to reduce it to 50%. That means having energy security is the utmost need of the hour, as stated by the Prime Minister. The other important point as stated by the Prime Minister in this regard is, he called upon the rich people to give up the subsidy on LPG cylinders voluntarily. To give up the subsidy on LPG cylinders voluntarily. Remember, India has got around 15 crore LPG customers, and all of them are getting subsidy on LPG. You all very well know, 14.2 kg cylinders, we get 12 subsidized cylinders per annum. 14.2 kg cylinders, we get 12 subsidized cylinders per annum. When it comes to 5 kg cylinders, we get 34 on subsidized rate. The subsidy is given to each and every customer. Now Prime Minister called upon the rich people to give up subsidy in LPG so that it will be useful to the persons below the poverty line. Friends, look at the next one. Veteran actor, producer Shashi Kapoor gets Dadasaheb Phalke Award. Dadasaheb Phalke Award was instituted in the year 1969. This is the 46th award. The award is given for the year 2014. The award is given for the wholesome contribution to the development of cinema. By looking at the wholesome performance of the person, Dadasaheb Phalke award is given, and it carries a Swarn Kamal, cash prize of rupees 10 lakhs and a shawl. Who is Dadasaheb Phalke? He is the person who was born in Maharashtra and who was associated with India's first silent movie Raja Harishchandra in the year 1913. Subsequently, he made several films in the era of silent movies. He was credited with the first producer of silent movie Raja Harishchandra in the year 1913. To commemorate Dadasaheb Phalke, this award was instituted in the year 1969 and is given to the persons who contributed a lot to the growth of film industry throughout their life, and in this connection the award this year goes to Shashi Kapoor, famous Hindi film personality. And starting with Avara as a child artist, he acted in memorable films like Diwar, Satyam Shivam Sundaram, Trishul, Kabhi Kabhi, and remember, he is the third one to get Dadasaheb Phalke award in the Kapoor family. His father Prithviraj Kapoor got Dadasaheb Phalke award and Padma Bhushan, as well as his brother Raj Kapoor got Dadasaheb Phalke award and Padma Bhushan, and he is the third person, Shashi Kapoor, to get both the awards of Padma Bhushan and Dadasaheb Phalke award. Right, friends, let us look into the next one. 62nd National Film Awards announced. I would like to tell you few points on this. Remaining points are available in the slides. You can go through the slides. First and the foremost thing is Best Feature Film. Best Feature Film is Court, which was made in 4 languages. Second important point is maximum awards were won by Haidar, the film based on Shakespeare's novel Hamlet. Haidar got 5 awards, but Best Feature Film was won by Court. Other important aspect is Best Actor Award has gone to Sanchari Vijay for his Kannada film. Best Actress has gone to Kangana Ranaut for her action in Queen. Another award is Best Popular Film for Wholesome Entertainment has gone to Mary Kom. Right, friends, this year's jury is headed by famous Tamil filmmaker P. Bharati Raja. The other aspects you can see through the slides, but these things please don't forget. Look at another important aspect. Launching of IRNSS. What is IRNSS? Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System. All of us are familiar with the Global Positioning System, GPS. When you want to locate your position, when you want to locate a bank branch, when you want to locate a shopping mall, we use GPS. To go to some other place, we use GPS for navigation. But remember, this GPS is of United States of America. Now, recently ISRO launched IRNSS. IRNSS is basically regional equivalent of GPS. GPS is available throughout the globe, but IRNSS will be available only for this South Asian region. That means it is the regional equivalent of a global positioning system. Global positioning system is of United States of America, and this IRNSS, the 4th satellite, was recently launched by ISRO out of total 7 satellites. Right, friends, look at the next. when it comes to world events, airstrikes on Houthi rebels in Yemen. Yemen is into civil war. Yemen is the country. On one side it is Red Sea, on one side it is Arabian Sea, on the top, on the north it is Saudi Arabia, towards the northeast it is Oman. The population of Yemen is roughly 2.5 crores, not that rich in comparison to other oil rich countries. Civil war is going on. Houthi rebels, they are reportedly supported by Iran. Few months back, they occupied the capital city, Sana'a, and subsequent to that, President left the presidential palace and reached the southern coastal city of Aden, and subsequently this Houthi rebels came close to Aden, and the president left Aden and went to Saudi Arabia. Then he requested the help of Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, along with 9 more friendly countries, or otherwise 10-nation coalition led by Saudi Arabia, started airstrikes on Yemen. The situation is highly horrific. Houthi rebels are reportedly supported by Iran, and Saudi Arabia is into airstrikes upon several installations of Houthis. So it is almost a bitter war is going on between Houthis and Saudi-led coalition. Under these circumstances, India is trying to evacuate the Indians stranded in the country. There are around 4,000 Indians stranded in the country working as nurses and other professions. Most of these are from Kerala, and Indian government is trying to bring them back to the country. Right, friends? Let us look into the next one. Lee Kuan Yew, founding father of Singapore, dead. He was credited with the transformation of Singapore from a tiny fishing hamlet to a city of major financial importance in the world. That means from a tiny fishing hamlet to world-class financial center within a span of 20 to 30 years. Lee Kuan Yew, who became the Prime Minister in 1959, was in that position for almost 31 years and transformed Singapore into the world-class financial center. And what is so great and what is the reason for the transformation? First and the most important thing is the country has got zero tolerance to corruption. The country has got zero tolerance to corruption. Human Development Index, it stands at the developed European countries. The third most important aspect is world-class infrastructure was developed, like roads, airports. Another important aspect is world-class educational institutions. 2 of the Singapore universities are within the top 100 universities in the world. University of Singapore stands somewhere around 25. And unfortunate part of India is no university in India figures below 200, but whereas Singapore, with a population of around 5 million roughly, has got 2 world-class universities whose ranking is below 100. And the person credited with this transformation is Lee Kuan Yew. He died recently, and he is the person of Chinese origin, born in the year 1923. He started People's Action Party in 1954, and subsequently he was the Prime Minister for 31 years, and he was the founding father of Singapore, is no more. Right, friends? Look at the next one. Air crash in France. Unfortunate event. The plane was traveling from Barcelona in Spain to a city in Germany, and when it was over the Alps mountains, the co-pilot deliberately crashed the plane with an intention to commit suicide. Due to this plane crash, 144 persons and 6 crew members died on the spot, and deliberately crashing the plane with an intention to commit suicide is very unfortunate event. Subsequently, International Civil Aviation Organization advised all the countries to undertake a rigorous medical examination of all the pilots and co-pilots, and also gave advisory to all the countries to ensure at any point of time 2 persons in the cockpit. Right friends, after this unfortunate incident, let us look at the next issue with relation to economy. All the 56 regional rural banks brought under central payment system with RuPay cards as per the National Payments Corporation of India, which is the nodal body for integration of all the retail payments in the country. NPCI is the nodal body. It brought the RuPay card, India's equivalent to MasterCard or Visa. RuPay card is India's equivalent to MasterCard or Visa. They developed this RuPay card. As per NPCI's statement recently, all the 56 regional rural banks are brought under the core banking system. That means this RuPay card can be used at any of the outlets of these rural banks or any of the outlets of public sector banks or private sector banks. That means they are brought under the central payment system. That means all the rural banks now are brought under Core Banking Solutions Network or CBS platform. Because of this, you can withdraw at any ATM, either rural bank or public sector bank or private sector bank or foreign bank, as a matter of fact. Right friends, look at the next one. Spectrum auction completed. Recently, Government of India completed auction of spectrum in 4 bands: 2100 MHz, 1800 MHz, 900 MHz and 800 MHz. And government got 1.1 lakh crore over a period of 20 years. Please don't forget, the tenure of this license is 20 years. Over a period of 20 years, by selling this auction, government is expected to get 1.1 lakh crore. Right? Because of this, telecom companies may increase the tariff slightly. And other important point is, already telecom companies are having huge debt of approximately 2.5 lakh crores. Right friends, look at the next one. Australia wins the ICC World Cup. This is the 5th time. And other interesting thing is, they won the cup when the matches are played in 5 different continents. Out of the 11 World Cups, Australia won 5 times. Second important point is, player of the match is James Faulkner. Player of the tournament is Mitchell Starc for his 22 wickets haul. Please remember, the 2019 World Cup, ICC World Cup, will be held in England, and the number of participating teams will be 10 only. The number of participating teams in this World Cup, in the 11th World Cup held in Australia and in New Zealand, are 14, and in the next World Cup there will be only 10 teams. Look at the next one. Saina Nehwal became world's number 1. What is world's number 1? I would like to explain you a bit. Badminton World Federation. Badminton World Federation, which is based in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, gives rankings. These rankings change week by week. When someone wins some international event, he or she gets some points. If they lose some points. Like that, they rank the players. Previously, in the men's section, only Prakash Padukone got to the number 1 position. He is the only Indian badminton men's player to get the first position in the rankings. And now, Saina Nehwal became the first Indian women badminton player to reach number 1 position in BWF rankings. Please don't forget, in BWF rankings, now Saina Nehwal reached the top position, and previously Prakash Padukone reached this position. And please don't forget these two names. Prakash Padukone reached almost 35 years ago, and now Saina Nehwal reached recently. Friends, look at the next one. Indian Open Badminton Championship, recently held in Siri Fort Sports Complex in Delhi. The men's champion is K. Srikanth and women's champion is Saina Nehwal. Please don't forget, men's champion is K. Srikanth, women's champion is Saina Nehwal of the recently concluded Indian Open Badminton Championship. Let us look at the miscellaneous events. The report of the United Nations. United Nations every year releases World Water Development Report. Please remember, United Nations releases World Water Development Report, and as per the report recently released by the United Nations, there are two important points. One is water demand will increase by 55% by 2050, and the shortfall of water will be 40% by 2030. That means only 60% of water required for the mankind will be available by 2030. That means there will be a shortfall of 40%. Please don't forget these two figures. Friends, another important thing, 50 greatest leaders as per the Fortune magazine. 50 greatest leaders as per the Fortune magazine. CEO of Apple, Tim Cook heads the position. Tim Cook is at number 1 position. Mario Draghi, President of European Central Bank, is in 2nd position. Xi Jinping, President of China, 3rd position. Pope Francis in 4th position. And the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in 5th position. And please look at these rankings. First ranking is Tim Cook. He is Apple's CEO. Remember, Apple is at present the world's largest company. The 3rd position is Xi Jinping. Remember, China is the world's most populous country. 5th position is India. India is the 2nd most populous country in the world. Right? Another important thing is Kailash Satyarthi, who recently got a Nobel Prize along with Malala Yousafzai. He is in 28th position for his work to emancipate the suffering of the children in this country. One important thing is, please look at this person. He is Raj Punjabi, born in Liberia. His forefathers were of Indian origin. He was born in Liberia. During the Liberia Civil War, he migrated to United States of America. After his education in United States of America, he came back to Liberia. Remember, Liberia is worst affected by Ebola. in Liberia, he started a non-profit organization, Last Mile Health, to create medical facilities, to train the persons to take care of primary needs of human beings in rural areas of Liberia, and he is also one of the greatest persons in the world. Right, friends? Madhav Gadgil shares the Tyler Prize. Tyler Prize is basically for environmental achievement, established in the year 1973. For environmental achievement, this year, Madhav Gadgil shares the prize with John Lubchenco. Madhav Gadgil is famous for his ecology report on Western Ghats. Please don't forget his name. He gave the report on ecology in the Western Ghats, and with regard to this prize, the other details you can read from this slide. Friends, next one, rare artifacts damaged in Indian Museum in Calcutta. The Indian Museum in Calcutta is the oldest in Asia Pacific region, and several artifacts are available in this museum, and recently 2 artifacts, 2nd century statue of Akshi and lion capital of Mauryan period were found damaged due to the callous attitude of the staff. Right, friends, look at the next and the last one. Akhil Sharma wins the Folio Prize for Family Life. Folio Prize is the literary prize. It is the Academy in London. The prize carries £40,000, and Akhil Sharma, Delhi born but settled in United States of America since 1979, got this award of Folio Prize, and he got this prize for his book Family Life. He wrote this book over a period of 13 years, and it describes the account of family's life across continents and various cultures. Please don't forget, his book Obedient Father also won the PEN Award. Right, with this, let us conclude this lecture part. Do join for question and session parts, because in question and answer sessions also I am deliberating some of the issues in detail which I could not cover in lecture session. Okay, have a nice day. Thank you.